Resident Evil is like the patient zero of survival horror games. Developer Capcom even invented the term survival horror. Before that, they were just called stay alive scary games, also they didn't really exist. So when Resident Evil released on the original PlayStation in 1996, not only did it offer a unique action puzzle game unlike anything else at the time, but it also delivered a memorable cinematic experience. That first Resident Evil game contained so many unforgettable sights and sounds, it became an instant classic, while also paving the way for other classic survival horror games like Silent Hill and Resident Evil 2. So let me share with you some of my favourite, unforgettable, iconic moments from the classic horror masterpiece that is Resident Evil. Well, the first one is obviously this. It's such a strong introduction to the world of Resident Evil. I think everyone remembers the first time they saw this. It really grabs you by the bowels. There's something really threatening about this reveal. The slow turn and the big glaring eye, it's so haunting. Even for someone who got the uncensored European version without the rolling head with the half-eaten face. It's an indelible image that's slowly becoming the Akira slide of zombie side eyes. And then you get that iconic green blazer and the squelchy footsteps. Chef's kiss. The next iconic moment is this one, obviously. That is startling. Tell me you weren't startled by that. What I love about this moment, other than the fact that it shits you up something fierce the first time it happens, actually it's still scary even when you know it's coming. But what I love about it is how, due to the fact that it happens so early in the game, it sets you up to expect the unexpected. It's an amazing set piece that really puts you on edge. You realise there's not going to be a safe room in this hellish mansion, except the safe rooms. But what I think's great about it is that it's a relatively simple scare in comparison to some of the shit that goes down in the wider Resident Evil universe. Because that's what's really unnerving about the original Resident Evil, the mansion setting. The Spencer estate is eerily familiar, and it feels lived in and yet isolated and deserted. And there's something very unsettling about that. And I think it's funny how all of these dreadful live-action adaptations seem to focus on the clinical, impersonal environments, like white laboratories and pristine state-of-the-art facilities, and in doing so overlook the real star of the show, the house. I feel like one of the main characters of the game is the mansion. Well, it's the titular character, isn't it? It's the residents of evil. And it's scary because it's relatable. A dog could come crashing through your window any minute now. Or a zombie could burst out of your wardrobe. Speaking of which, what about this? While the surprise attack from the closet zombie is a peach, the truly unforgettable thing here is the chilling words recorded in the diary on the desk, which documents the final days of an animal keeper working inside the secret laboratory within the mansion. At first it's the usual stuff, hanging out with the boys, playing poker, feeding a pig to a new monster that looks like a gorilla without skin, that sort of stuff. But then it gets really disturbing as you read of the keeper's infection with the zombosis, and his entries become more and more incoherent. He writes of fever, eating the doggy food, and of killing Scott and his ugly face. And then finally the immortal words, itchy tasty. Oof, harrowing. Of all the memos and diary entries and scraps of paper in all the video games, that's got to be the most memorable. But if you think that's memorable though, try and unremember this. At a certain point in the game, a new foe appears inside the mansion. Where once there were zombies, there are now hunters. These hulking lizards are quick and deadly, their razor-sharp claws clicking on the ground as they stalk the corridors like velociraptors hunting kids in a stainless steel kitchen. And what a great way to introduce them. Suddenly seeing the monster's eye view as it hoofs it along the path you were just on, following your footsteps. It's at the door! Sweet Jesus, there it is! That's just pure video game. Finally, you know how earlier I said the mansion was the star of the show when it came to the original Resident Evil? Well, that's not entirely the case because the real star of the show is Barry. And the most iconic thing about Resident Evil is everything he says.
What? Just a moment. Jill Sandwich, take a look at this. Whoa. This hall is dangerous. Do you think we could see Tyrant now? Oh my god! There must be a back door somewhere.
It may be more dangerous if you come behind me.
Good old Bazza.
Yeah.
Well, those are my favourite iconic moments from Resident Evil, but there's so many more. I didn't even mention the sharks. But I will take this opportunity just to chuck in my favourite moment from the remake though.
Premature.
Hilarious. What are some of the moments you can't forget from Resident Evil? Let me know in the comments and I'll itch you next time. Tasty.